You're tuned in to the Restaurant RockStars Podcast. Powerful ideas to rock your restaurant. Here's your host, Roger Bodwin.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Restaurant RockStars Podcast. You know, we've been featuring all types of companies out there that are helping this industry forward through this terrible crisis. And if you're still operating or if you're soon to be open, you got to know that it's all about contactless ordering and payment, okay? So this week's episode, I'm speaking with Laurent May, and he is the founder of a company called Ready to Pay. And Ready is all about offering a virtual ordering kiosk, no matter where your customer's at, whether they're in a hotel room or their home or wherever they happen to be, they can order virtually through their phone, pay through their phone, view your digital menu, and it's all about, again, contactless ordering and payment for your restaurant. So it's offering a new form of hospitality that's not only convenient for the customer, but it's as safe as well as it can be. So that's super, super important. This company, Ready to Pay, is also offering a free demo, so I definitely encourage you to check it out. It's a new business model out there, a whole new way of operating, and Ready to Pay is offering a great solution. So stay tuned to the episode. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is the Restaurant RockStars Podcast. And as you know, these are engaging topics that help restaurants rock their profits, build their brands, and deliver amazing guest service experiences. And that last one is so relevant right now because this crisis is unprecedented. It is devastating our industry, but the majority of us have been forced to close our dine-in, sit-down service and pivot to a grab and go or a delivery or a curbside pickup model. And that's why this guest today is so perfectly relevant. His name is Mr. Laurent May, and he is the head of a technology company called Ready. And Ready offers a contactless way for your customer to connect with your restaurant, to check out your menu, to order, and to pay, and possibly also leave a review as an option if you want to leave a review, all without the need for a third-party app. No need to download anything. Just use a smartphone. It's really awesome. I'm really psyched to have you here. Thanks for joining me today, Laurent.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So I love the name, Ready. Your website, of course, is readytopay.com. That's cool, right? Very perfect. And I'll include that in the show notes because I definitely want everyone to check this out. You also have a free demo, which I watched, and I'm like, wow, Eureka, instant. That is so easy. So you offer a seamless service here. And that was really the point, wasn't it, Laurent? You really wanted to remove what you call the friction of the whole service model the way it used to be, eliminate the pain points and the hassles from the customer's point of view, which also loses a restaurant money. Am I right?
Yeah, so I think if we think about sometimes one of the downsides of going out to restaurants is actually being able to order or pay. We do have to do that split check dance and provide the credit card come back. Yeah. In our research, it showed that it can take up to 20 minutes to actually leave when you want to, and you have to go through that payment process. So what we started with was deploying our Ready Pay at Table service to all the different dining room tables where you could, when you are ready to pay, use your smartphone, tap a Ready Target, bring up your bill directly integrated into your point of sale and pay when you wanted to without an app download. So that ended up saving restaurateurs and customers about 22 minutes per table and really drove table turns at peak time. So that was our contactless payment option at table. And because of COVID, with all the dining rooms being closed down, we offer the same type of technology for ordering, for curbside pickup, order ahead, and virtual drive-through.
This is really cool technology. And as we all know, I mean, technology just keeps moving forward at light speed, and you never know what's around the next corner. But I just think you're perfectly positioned right now because, like I said, so many of us have switched to that new model, and we have no idea how long this is going to last, this crisis, and how long we're going to continue to operate before we can go back to regular dine-in service. And then once we're allowed to, whether the government, the governor of your state says, okay, you're ready and free to open for business again, you have no idea how the customer is going to react to actually going and sitting down in a group setting versus continuing this model for a while. So I think this is relevant.
Before we get into what it does, how it works, and all the ins and outs, Laurent, can you sort of give us your backstory? I mean, have you ever worked in restaurants before? It seems like you're a tech guy. You're the head of a tech company now. Where did the idea for Ready come from, really? And was it your brainchild, or was it a brainstorming session? And just tell us all about that.
Yeah, sure. So my background is on the payment side. So I was an early employee of a company called TO Networks that was acquired by PayPal a few years ago. After that experience, I was looking for my next challenge, and a company called Iqmetrix actually incubated this idea. So Iqmetrix is a company that is the leader in the wireless point of sale space. So companies like Sprint and AT&T and Verizon use their technology. And they had this entrepreneurship program where employees can come up with great ideas and you'll go to the board and say, listen, I want to solve a problem. Give me some funding. I'm going to kickstart off an idea. And one of those was Ready. And it was based on the fact that one of our employees, Garrett Rogers, who's now the Ready CTO, just had a new baby, and he was sitting at the end of a meal, and he says, there's got to be a better way than waiting for my check to be dropped and giving my credit card as his newborn son Toby was kind of expiring in front of his eyes, and he was waiting for his bill. So he came up with this idea, took it to the board. It was incubated and got to the point where they were looking for some more experienced leadership, and that's where I came in at the beginning of last year.
Awesome. I love the word entrepreneurship that you used. And here's a nugget of information for the audience, because right now, while restaurants are either idle or you're offering limited service, limited days perhaps, now's really the time to work on your business, to put the systems in place that are going to give you the best chances, not just to survive and come out the other side, to be a better, stronger, more profitable restaurant. So this technology is one such system, but the nugget I'm talking about is really training your staff to think and act like owners, and to have your back, and to incentivize them and recognize and reward them for outstanding achievement. And it sounds like that was part of this program, but that lesson can be translated to our customers, our restaurants. Anyone can have that entrepreneur philosophy, and these are the kinds of people we should be looking for when we hire. So I'm really glad you brought that up. Okay, so now we know how Ready came to be. So essentially we're talking about a virtual ordering kiosk that is literally your smartphone, right? And it doesn't require the app, which is a beautiful thing. Because I think there's research out there that says a vast majority of people, 60+% of people really don't want to download apps. And if they do, their phone's already clogged with 30 other apps. And it's like, you really don't want to search for stuff. So that's beautiful. But I guess the piece that I'm missing is there's such a thing as a Ready code at a participating restaurant. Tell us how that works and how the phone recognizes the POS system.
That's right. Yeah. So one of the unique things that we do that's quite novel is on every single table, whether you're going to be ordering through your phone or paying your bill in a postpaid environment, is we have a unique QR code and unique NFC target that is mapped to the table. So when we map that QR code and NFC tag, when a customer comes up with their phone and taps the target or scans the QR code using the onboard camera, we know exactly what table they're at. They're at table 101 in restaurant 2. So we're able to actually, with that experience in real time, go into the point of sale that we're integrated with and render the check for you in a matter of milliseconds. So at that point, you can look at your bill. If you're out together, we could split our bill without talking to the server. And I can pay with Apple Pay or Google Pay or enter in a credit card. And so we've seen people, tap the QR code and check out in less than 30 seconds without talking to a server, without having to settle the bill with wait staff. And we kind of Uberize the payment experience, and you can just walk out when you're ready to pay.
Are people really appreciating this experience that is more likely for them to leave a positive review as well at the end of the process? Are you seeing that happen?
Yeah, so one of the optional modules we have on our pay product is the ability to leave service reviews, and you can set up different factors you want to collect information on. But it's a quick 3-question survey. How did we do today? What are the things that contributed to a great experience or a poor experience, and what can we do better? And what we're seeing is mobile payment is one of those things that ready mobile payment is one of those service factors that we list, and 99% of people are actually indicating as mobile payment was one of the factors that led to a great experience. Of course, there's other great things about restaurants, the food, the atmosphere, the service, but consistently it turns out leaving when you want to leave when you're a busy person is a really important part of the guest experience.
Okay, so you're eliminating a lot of pain points for the customer here. And that's the part where you're removing the friction. I really like that. So things like waiting, a customer waiting is a huge pet peeve, huge, no matter who you are, right? So waiting. And then there's the whole mixed up order thing that sometimes happens when you've got a third party person that sort of intervenes between the table and the kitchen and all that. That costs a restaurant money. And then finally, bad reviews certainly cost a restaurant money. So all this kind of goes away. And you're taking away the pain point and you're allowing the restaurant to focus on what they do best. And that's putting out the great food and drink that people really come in for, and the ambiance of the place, of course, which is in a typical as business as usual setting. But now obviously there's a lot of takeout and delivery and curbside pickup and all that's going on. But, you're speeding up the process and it's just eliminating that, the costs that are the lost money. And now you can serve more people, can't you? I think.
Yeah, so table turns have gone up, like we were talking about at peak times.
Beautiful.
We're turning tables 22 minutes faster. So if you have a restaurant that has a line, this really adds to your bottom line really quickly. Getting people into the tables faster, and a lot of people don't want to wait at all, like you just mentioned. So there's a lot of lost tables because people come into your restaurant, see this line in the lobby, or they talk to the hostess and it's a 45-minute wait. Well, you've lost that sale likely. They'll go down the street. So Ready really reduces that.
Okay, so now so that's business as usual again with the sit-down situation. But now with this new model, depending on how busy a restaurant gets, and there are some restaurants right now that are absolutely crushed with business, okay, because people, they're sick of being at home, 24/7 for the past month and a half, and they really want to get out, yet they're really afraid of the contact with people. So they're still avoiding the contact, but lots and lots of people are doing this curbside pickup thing, the contactless service thing. So let's just say, can a restaurant really sort of get inundated with people all into what they're offering, once they find out that this restaurant is participating with the Ready, platform or system? I mean, let's walk through the logistics of processing all these orders and making sure that you can seamlessly serve people without the wait. You've eliminated the wait of the payment piece, but what about the wait to pick up the food now? And that's something you guys really can't control.
Yeah, so I think as part of the COVID crisis here, we've looked at our platform, and one of the things that we've extended is on the order side, the ability to order ahead. Through our platform, you can set up pickup times that are based on how busy your restaurant is. The other thing that we've done is we partnered with PAR, who owns the Brink and operates the Brink point of sale. That's really popular in the QSR space. And we launched a virtual drive-through with them. So on the QSR side, physical drive-throughs have been incredibly busy. They've maintained their revenue level or increased actually quite dramatically.
Yes.
But there is a lot of restaurants and QSRs are either inside units or just don't have any physical drive-through. So how do we capture that drive-by traffic, as well as this concept of a safe ordering environment, which is in the drive-through? You have that in a contained ordering environment. So what we're doing is we're working with brands to designate parking spots where you can actually interface with the Ready platform by scanning a QR code. We know exactly what parking spot you're in, so you don't have to enter in all your personal information or your make and model of your car, your license plate number, which I think is a little heavy. You scan the QR code, up comes the menu again. No app download, no registration, smart defaulting to Apple Pay and Google Pay for easy payment. You place your order, and because we're integrated into the point of sale and Brink particularly, we can actually write down, okay, stall 1 has ordered, combo number 6, and you can bring it out when it's ready in a really safe way. So no exchanging of money, no exchanging of credit cards, all done through a digital self-service experience.
Let's touch back on something you mentioned earlier. Now, do customers have the option of deciding when they want to pick up the food, or is it up to the restaurant to say, okay, the order's just been placed, your food will be ready in 15, 20 minutes? I mean, or can both happen?
Yeah, both can happen. More typical is basically what we call a pickup time that we add to our ticket when we submit it to the point of sale. So customers can, restaurants can set what their open times are. They can also set their minimum order prep time. So maybe it takes 20 minutes to create any order that comes in. So if I was to go through the experience and the pickup time was enabled, we would show, what the allowable pickup slots are for that order. And customers can pick that, and that is automatically integrated into the point of sale. And the restaurant operator will see that I just ordered combo number 1, and I'm going to pick it up at 1:30 in the afternoon.
So that begs the question. You've answered that perfectly. Now we're talking about different POS systems, and it seems like today there's more POS systems than ever. Are you integrated with a majority of these, or what happens if a restaurant is using, say, Toast or Breadcrumb or something that they want to use, but yet you're not integrated with them? I mean, are you adding new systems all the time? Like, where are you at with that?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of direct integrations to the majors, Micros, Aloha, Squirrel, and many more. We also use a company called Omnivore that allows us to connect to a wide range of additional point of sales. But of course, right now there's a lot of demand from the long tail. There's just so many point of sale providers out there. So we're prioritizing to integrate additional point of sales. We're also looking at creating an unintegrated solution, meaning that we provide you with maybe a tablet and the entire ordering system is done through a ready system rather than relying on the integration. So that's something that we're looking to deliver this year. But right now we're just focused on the integrated solutions. It's just right now it's a better experience for restaurant operators from a inventory management perspective, from a KDS, all the different systems that are running. Once you're integrated into the point of sale, it just becomes business as usual from an order taking perspective. If we do need to deploy another piece of technology, that just slows things down, and we're trying to get these things up and running as quickly as possible.
Makes sense. So I first saw the beginnings of this technology years ago in an airport. And obviously airports are perfect for this because everybody's in a hurry and everyone wants to have a dining experience, but they don't necessarily want the stress of, geez, I got to make a plane in a half an hour. Do I have time to sit down and actually have a server approach me and get the meal on time and still make the gate on time and all that hassle, right? So I sat at this place, and it was kind of like a food court in the airport where there are lots of different choices, but you just literally sit wherever you want. And here are all these kiosks, and literally you're pressing buttons, and it's bringing up pictures of the food and the drink, and it's showing you what the price is. And you could even go so far as, okay, if you have a gluten-free diet, these are the ingredients, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter. Yep. But it was a seamless experience. And the only interaction I had was with the runner that actually brought me the food. But I paid through the kiosk, I ordered through the kiosk, and I sat there and I enjoyed the experience, and I made my gate with plenty of time. And that's beautiful. And now everything has been translated to a smartphone, which is awesome. But I guess where I'm going with this is, do you see this as the new norm in the future? And will this ultimately, I know it's perfect for QSR because we have limited staff in quick service restaurants. We don't have full serve sit down dining. We don't have hosts and bussers and servers and bartenders and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's counter service, it's drive through, it's food trucks, all that kind of stuff. But there are, full-serve sit-down dining restaurants that are watching this podcast right now, and they want to know, is this going to eliminate my staff? And is this a way, one, to lower my payroll costs, And what happens if, my customers really like the interaction with the staff? And is there a happy medium? And can I still use this technology with my old business model of full serve sit down dining? Where's the whole future of this going?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we think that this was inevitable to move some of these sort of mundane tasks into a self-service model, but we do think this, COVID has accelerated some of these new realities in the new normal. I think for us, we do believe that servers and wait staff and restaurant personnel are a really important part of the restaurant experience and actually can elevate a dining experience. So we're not here to necessarily replace them, but we do want to support them. And we want to be able to let them focus on the things that really are important, which is great service and providing recommendations about the menu, et cetera. So I think as an operator, opening up, I think we're going to see some interesting things where your number of tables may be limited. They may be, spaces may be, distance between tables may have to be increased or mandated. So I think what's really important is to provide options to customers. I think we don't know exactly what that new normal is, and maybe, talking to a server wearing a mask and gloves is okay for some people, but other people may just want to have a dining experience that's completely devoid of any contact with wait staff. And I think having ready order at your dining room table alleviates a lot of those concerns and provides options to customers. The important thing, like you mentioned, is it works in tandem or in concert with the regular way you serve your customers. So if customers have opt to order directly from their table using our ready self-service ordering, then the order just gets submitted to the point of sale like normal, and the food will come out from the kitchen. Or they can opt to speak with the server and place an order. And at the end of the experience, whereas a high touch point is payment, right? You're dropping off a check fold, you're passing your credit card that's being swiped on terminals. You could opt to just deploy the payment option, which is the ability to just pay at the end of the experience. So I think options and keeping your flexibility open is a really important factor when you're thinking about your new service models. I don't think anyone really knows A, how long this is going to be, or B, what the consumer's expectations will be. So we think technology like Ready can bridge that gap and do it in a relatively frictionless way for operators and customers.
That's beautiful. That's perfect. So you're really well positioned now and for the future, and this thing will just keep on growing. And I see as this whole business model evolves and as the crisis evolves and all that sort of thing, I think that your features and the way things work will continue to seamlessly move with the way things are going. I'm sure that's your plan. I won't tell you how to run your business, but I'm sure you're thinking this through.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think the march towards self-service, anywhere you see a physical kiosk, what has replaced that is mobile smartphones. If you think about airline check-in, what has replaced airline check-in? That was checking in on your smartphone.
Correct.
I don't know if you remember this. Yeah, the kiosks for kiosks for movie ticket theaters. I remember buying, queuing up at the kiosk for that. That's been replaced by going online. So the idea of ordering food on a physical piece of hardware, I think, was definitely on the decline in some areas. But I think if you have the opportunity and the technology to leapfrog that whole capital investment, especially in the QSR environment, you should do that. And you can rely on the kiosk that's in everyone's pocket, which is their smartphone.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk, Laurent, about onboarding and the timing. Say, I'm a restaurant, I'm intrigued, I want to get this going now. What's it take to get working with you guys and get up to running? And how long will that take? What's the process? Do I need any special hardware? I don't think you do, right? Just a smartphone?
No. Yeah, so no hardware, which is really great. We're trying, restaurants out there are in survival mode. So we're trying to onboard people as quickly as possible. There are some limitations around technology, and the other thing that's really shown is how complex your menu is. A lot of restaurant operators are reducing their menus, so that makes a lot easier. But we're able to get some customers up in 24 to 48 hours. If you have a lot of locations and a lot of complex menus, combos, nested modifiers, these types of things that are a little more complicated to set up,
right?
That can take longer. But our commitment right now is if you come to our website, we have a free offer for restaurants to waive all implementation fees, waive all transactional fees and all monthly service charges now until June, and get you up and running as quickly as possible with no commitment. If you like the service, we can continue working with you, but we really want to just provide a tool and a bridge for the community right now, because we know it's really tough out there.
Fantastic. That's an awesome offer. I mean, this is great. This industry is rising to the challenge, and everyone's helping everyone as best we can. And companies that, that are out there in a position to help are certainly doing so. So thank you very much for providing that offer. I'm also going to include that in the show notes to this episode. Let's talk about loyalty programs, because I know that's another piece of this. So obviously you create a profile, and now suddenly the system, or I should say the platform, recognizes your frequency at certain places. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I actually think loyalty is a really important part of reopening and the new normal. Being able to communicate with your customers what the new operating model is, what the offers are. Fighting over those restaurant dollars when you do open is going to be a really important part. So prior to COVID at the Mertech conference, we actually announced our partnership with SpendGo, which is a loyalty provider. So we'll be integrating SpendGo directly into our order product as well as our pay at table product. And we're really excited about this because we're going to do it in a really seamless and frictionless way where it's automatic. So you automatically can redeem offers on order and on pay, which is kind of a really interesting thing. If you're a sit-down restaurant and you tap the QR code, we'll let you know based on the SpendGo platform whether or not you have a free appetizer, whether or not you have $5 off if you spend $50. And that should really help on the dine-in experience. There's a lot of loyalty programs for sit-down restaurants, but I think they're operationally really difficult to run, and they can be a lot of overhead because they require check-in and personal information going back and forth to the server. Again, this is all self-service. So we think loyalty is a really important part of operations moving forward, and SpendGo is our first partner, and we're really excited about launching that broadly.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. That's really good information as well. I have another question. Let's see where we're going with this. We already talked about loyalty programs. We talked about the payment process. Let's go back quickly to the reviews. Does this automatically translate to Yelp and Google and TripAdvisor as well? Or does this review simply go to the restaurant saying, hey, I enjoyed my service and the food was good and the service was good, and I really appreciated the fact that the payment process was so simple? I mean, how does the online review get put in all this? Because we want those, It's like
online reviews are incredibly important to attracting new business and keeping existing ones. I think I was reading about this earlier this week, where it was like every additional 1-star positive in rating is another 20% of business. So the difference between a 3-star and a 4-star review is 20% in revenue or visits. So it's incredibly important. So what we do is we kind of capture the bad reviews and try to keep them internal. So we provide you the ability to review those. If you do provide a positive review, we will put in a link. We can't automatically syndicate reviews across the network, all the different networks that you mentioned, because that would just open up abuse across their platforms. But we can put a link in the email receipt, as well as the review app, that'll allow you to send a review to Yelp or Google or Facebook, whatever your platform of choice is. You do have to enter the review in twice, but this actually amplifies positive reviews and sort of subdues the negative reviews a little bit, which I think restaurant operators really like.
I absolutely agree with that. It's unfortunate that human nature, for whatever reason, negatives outshine positives, and people are more likely to, when they have a bad experience, immediately go to an online review site, and I'm going to slam them, and I got to vent, I got to get out what happened, and I want everyone to hear about it. but they have an amazing experience, and then it's just an extra step to leave a review. And I've always recommended that restaurants find ways of asking for the positive review. And right now during this grab and go mode, if you're, you've got takeout packaging that you're, contactless leaving for them, or dropping it off in their car, whatever it is, dropping a note in the bag. It's as simple as that, saying, if you enjoyed your experience, we'd really appreciate your review so that other people can find us or whatever. And now this is a way that people can do that. But I guess I'm curious, are we asking for a good review? Are we trying to put that spin on it, or is just leaving it up to the public just to leave a review of some sort?
Yeah, you can leave any review. I think the question we ask is, how did we do today? And it's a 5-star. It's a 5-star review.
Okay, it's 5-star. Yep.
Yeah, and then after you leave a 4-star or a 4 or 5-star review, it's like, great. What did we do great today? And if you leave a 1, 2, or 3, it's like, thank you. How can we improve? And that's where you can select up to 6 what we call service factors. So food, service, mobile payment, environment, cleanliness. You get to set these service factors. So very quickly, I can go 4 stars, food, service, and then we leave an open text box that says, I really enjoyed my time. We get so many interesting pieces of feedback back, and you're totally right. Like when we deploy this, restaurateurs are like, oh, we're doing better than we thought, because all we get is slammed on our website, slammed on the Yelp reviews, and we don't get those positive reviews. The ratio is really off. But when you make the review experience really quick, 2 clicks and type a nice message, you get a lot more volume of information coming in. You get a better picture of your operation. So yeah, I think you're right about that. We the option to sort of amplify the positive reviews is just a link, so customers can always go to Yelp or Facebook in any case. We're not trying to skew the picture, but I think what we're trying to do is provide an easier way to provide better information and better reviews to operators.
Let's talk about marketing. Okay, you're adding new restaurants all the time, and there's got to be a way that we're spreading this virally, and we're letting our customers know, hey, we've got a new way of serving you. We got a new way to save you time and money, and giving you a better experience here. How are restaurants actually marketing the fact that they're on the Ready platform, and how is Ready spreading the word that, hey, this is available, and letting the consumer know that, hey, there's a easier, faster, greater way to, you know what I mean? It's a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
It's all about marketing.
Yeah, so I think that's a good point. I think one of the things that we really do is support the restaurant operator. We're not trying to build a brand on the back of your restaurant. So from a data and marketing perspective, you own the customer. It's your data. You're never going to see, Ready paraphernalia on your table. Everything is branded to your restaurant. That's a really important part of our experience. We're not trying to, steal customers from your customer base. So that's where loyalty really comes in. We've seen really large sit-down restaurants have really small, let's say, mailing lists or the ability to contact customers directly. Restaurants that do, 1 million patrons in a couple, in a half a year might have 10,000 people on their mailing list. So the ability to connect to customers is really important. That's why, loyalty is a big part of that. We also work with their teams to get on social and Instagram and Twitter, campaigns, and that is very effective for letting the customers know, and even maybe doing paid spots. And we support the team on doing that with marketing and tactics. So yeah, I mean, I think we really want to support the restaurants to do that, and make sure that it's all branded and owned by that restaurant operator.
Well, this has been terrific. If there's anything else that I've missed, I certainly want to hear about it. But it's really important to us at the Restaurant RockStars Podcast, especially during this crisis, to try to give people, our audience, our restaurateur, our hospitality space audience out there, all the new technology and all the tips and all the tools that'll help them, like I mentioned earlier, not just survive this thing, but really improve their business. So that's why I'm really pleased that you've been a guest today, because I think this is perfect for what the majority of restaurants are doing right now. That sounds like an endorsement, because this really, I really believe, I've researched your company and I've looked at your website and I really like the way this thing works. And I'm pretty sure the most important thing is you've made perfectly clear is it's really all about the customer's experience. And that's really what we're promoting here. It's about hospitality, the customer's experience, and creating a point of differentiation in the marketplace that sets your restaurant, your operation apart from the competition. And I think that does that. With that said, have we missed anything? We covered a lot of ground in this, and I've got a really good sense of how this works, and I think our audience did too, but I don't want to cut short if there's more to talk about.
Yeah, no, I think what one tip for operators out there is just think about flexibility moving forward, right? So if you're bringing on new vendors or you're thinking about developing some new relationships, think about all the different use cases that you need today. But I don't think we know what the new normal is. So having flexible use cases and having a vendor that can actually deliver more than one thing is really important from a cost perspective and from just a vendor management perspective. So I would think about that. The second thing is, check out our website. I think it's a great offer for people to come in on readytopay.com and try to get this stuff up and running as quickly as possible. And we're here to help. If you have any ideas, reach out. We want to partner with the restaurant community to make this a better experience coming out of this. So, please reach out and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Laurent. I think this is tremendous. And like I said, I learned a lot. And I'm glad the audience, has a new option that'll help them run a stronger business. That was the Restaurant RockStars Podcast. We will see everyone in the next episode. Everybody stay well, stay safe, and we wish you all the best of success with your operation right now during these challenging times. Thanks for joining us.
Guys, this industry is so surrounded with passionate people, resourceful, creative people. And no matter how bad this crisis has gotten, and no matter how bad, it's affected our business, people are digging deep and they're really doing whatever they can, not only to help others, but to help their business, not just survive, but succeed. And I've been really inspired by this. Last week, a colleague of mine, Jamie Oikel of runningrestaurants.com, we had this idea. Actually, it was Jamie's idea. And we were really excited to put together a virtual 2-day restaurant recovery, reset, and resurgence show. And Jamie pulled in over 20 leading speakers in the industry, myself included, and we conducted this virtual show, and it was such a huge success. Over 500 registrations, and the accolades, the testimonials, the positive praise afterwards from the audience was just astounding to us, and it made such a big impact. So if this intrigues you, it was all about service and profitability and technology and marketing and all sorts of immediately actionable ideas, again, from 20 leading speakers, and the recording is now available if you missed it. So I definitely recommend that you check this out at the URL www.rrrshow.com, and you can get the recording, which is available for a limited time. It was actually 8 hours of content, but now with this recording, you can tune in to the agenda at your leisure, at your convenience, and I guarantee you're going to get value and huge return on some of these ideas. Again, the testimonials were just glowing on how much we helped the industry and how much we helped individual restaurant businesses, again, not just survive, but succeed. Now's the time to work on your business. If you're idle, if you're closed, or if you're offering limited service, work on your business now, and you'll be glad you did. So thanks again for listening. If you like what you're hearing, please leave us a review on iTunes. And also, we also want to announce that we've just opened up a new Facebook group. It's called the Restaurant RockStars Official. So we're opening up chat and conversation and free advice, and we encourage you to join that group. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Restaurant RockStars Podcast. For lots of great resources, head over to restaurantrockstars.com. See you next time.